Hello and welcome along to the OP-05 Winner Box Tournament here at Fanboy 3. My name is Ben Fitzpatrick. It's a pleasure to have your company with us here today. We are packed in and set for 4 rounds of Swiss action in the One Piece trading card game to celebrate the release of the brand new set OP-05. And fittingly, we have 2 OP-05 based decks that are here for you in round 1. We have Calvin on your left, who has just won the die roll and is electing to go first. He is playing Purple Luffy, and James on the right of your screen is playing the blue-black Sakazuki deck, which has taken the Japanese meta by storm while it has been in effect. Is it going to be able to have the same level of success over here in the West as well? James elected to keep their opening hand, setting down the 4 life cards that you are allowed. Now with the dual colour leaders, Calvin is going to mulligan their hand. There's going to be 2 interesting sort of clashes of styles with these 2 decks as well. Purple Luffy, very aggressive, very quick to ramp up, as a lot of purple decks like to do, and Sakazuki, that more reserved, controlling kind of aspect, being able to use both the elements and the effects of cost reductions from your black cards like your Admiral characters, and then the blue denial as well. But Calvin setting down their 5 life, and we are about ready to get this winner box tournament underway. The first of 4 rounds, and the winner of which will be going home with a brand spanking new, completely sealed booster box of OP-05. Just waiting for the official okay that we can get the game started. And there we go. First on, and it's just a simple turn 1 pass for Calvin's side of the field, which is, from what we've been gathering, sort of the typical turn 1 play for these Purple Luffy decks. Not really too heavily geared towards the early game. Use that leader effect to be able to ping yourself for 1 damage and amp up a Don as well. As we see James starting off with his turn 1, going for a search with brand new, one of the cards that was introduced in the last set. The searcher for the Navy deck's going to find himself a Kuzan. That'll be helpful for the next turn. Drops a Tashigi, as well as an event card there. I think that was the Great Eruption, as we see the first life being taken from Calvin using the leader effect. Will ramp up an extra Don. And the first attack of the event and the game swinging in there. Just a simple 5k at life will be easy for James to counter. And then here comes the ulti and page 1 combination that we've seen particularly within the red-purple decks that have been floating around from the starter deck 10s, Red Purple Law and Luffy. Saw them in great effect in some of the decks that made top 8 in the Liverpool Regional Championships that happened just about a month or so ago. And now seeing them being committed here in the OP-05 early days of the brand new meta. Here is James's second turn then, and it looks like it is just going to be as simple as playing that Kuzan that we found from the brand new the turn before. Going to be able to draw a card on play, and a 5k swing is going to come from leader Sakazuki. 1k counter away. Interesting to note that it was a queen that was used there as the 1k counter as well. So Calvin not really intent, at least at this stage in the game, to start committing blockers down to the board. Not too worried about the 2 minimum 5k threats that are on James's side of the field, as here's a 5k threat and swing of Calvin's own with the leader. James only needs the 1k to counter this one, and he will procure that as well. And now 1 Don underneath the ulti. This will be a 6,000 swing. A little bit harder to get rid of, but it will be countered away. And then the first life taken from James with the 6k swing from page 1. Leader effect. And then the follow-up for 5 is the blocker Eustace Captain Kid that was brought in the brand new set as well. It's the first actual character card that we are seeing of the new set. Pretty nifty little ability there as well. We're going to be seeing it in action throughout this game. Now over to James, who's starting to just slightly fall behind a little bit in terms of the board state. Obviously, Purple able to manipulate its Don to such great effects. It has been set that precedent all the way at the start of the card game, obviously celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the One Piece trading card game now. Seems quite a far cry from having to worry about mono purple Kaidos running around with the Onigashima Island as well to make sure that you can ramp. Purple has gotten a few new tricks up its sleeve since then. So James just sizing up the potential options here. You can get 2 swings off. I think you probably at this stage want to focus on the board state. Make sure that you're not losing too much ground. Can try and bait out the use of the kid blocker as well as a potential option. You also, don't forget, got the potential to start going with some cost reduction shenanigans as well, with the leader being able to -1 off the cost. Kuzan can take some cost off as well on attack. Hina is going to be played down for 3, and that will, on play, reduce a character's cost by 4. And I think the target was the blocker Kid, and that will be why. The 2-cost main event in blue will bottom deck the Kid, and all of a sudden that blocker problem that we were just worried about has gone away. Sakazuki is going to benefit from the extra 3k power that the event grants. This is going to be 8k swing into page 1. Needs 3k here does Calvin to make sure that character stays around. Does Calvin have it? No, is the answer. And now that leaves the potential for Alti to be attacked into as well and just completely clean up the board for James. And I think that is exactly what's going to be the play. A 6k swing. That will be countered away though with X-Drake. And the turn passed over to Calvin. Pretty productive turn from James's side of the field. He's gotten rid of the blocker threat and one of the bigger attacking threats on the board as well. That natural 6k of the page 1. As now the turn with Calvin at the moment. Massive amount of Don on his side of the field. That's 8, I think, that I count there. After all the ramping that Calvin's been able to do. 6k swing coming in at the Kuzan. I like this swing as well. 2k needed to keep that attacking threat around, and it won't be able to. And that's going to disrupt some of the cost reduction plans. Ooh, there is a great card that we've been seeing gather a lot of play and a lot of steam since its introduction from Starter Deck 10. The 7-cost Eustace Captain Kid. 7-cost 8k swing, but on play and when attacking, you can Don -1 and give your leader plus 1000 power. That stays as well till Calvin's next turn. So if James wants to do any damage this turn, he's going to need at least a Don underneath both the Hina and the Sakazuki as the turn is passed over. James currently trailing on the count on the life 3-2 in this first of 4 rounds of Fanboy 3's OP-05 Win a Box tournament. We're going to see Sakazuki's First leader ability used there. Or once per turn, activate main, you can discard a card to draw a card. Got rid of the brand new super rare Rebecca. I think it's a Tashigi that James managed to pick up off of the draw. So that's an extra 2k counter in hand. Will likely prove quite useful. Especially with the amount of attack power, raw attack power, that could be coming his way on the following turn. Still has all his Don left available. Just going to count it up as well. Looks like it's 7 or 8 that's there. In fact, it would be 8 left available, ready to use. Looks like he's got some kind of thought and some play in hand. So here goes 7 ulti, and using the an attacking ability to drop 1 cost off of the Captain Kid. So that's a 6 cost now as the ulti goes down. So I wonder if the thought process here is he's just going to try and spin that Captain Kid to the bottom of the deck once again. So here is Suru. Minus 2 cost to make it 4, and looks like the Tashigi is going to come down as well. Activate main can rest, minus 2 cost, that makes it a 2. And with the remaining 2 Don, does he have it? Looks like he does. The second copy of the 2 cost event that will spin it to the bottom of the deck. The 3k will go to brand new. So that means it will be able to attack the leader. 6k swing, life taken from Calvin. 2 apiece, and then a swing in with Hina there, potentially forgetting that Luffy is up still to a 6k. Calvin just allowing that the attack to be withdrawn. And the turn passed right back over to Calvin, who has a pretty barren side of the board right now for the Purple Luffy player. But has plenty of Don and resources to work with. Here comes the first play, 5k into brand new. James happy to let that go. And then the follow-up is the scary 9 cost Kaido in from the all the way back from the starter deck. Will reduce the Don back into the deck, pops the Hina, and then with the rush that it's granted from that on-play effect, will take care of the Tashigi. Famous last words there, I think, from this humble caster about whether Calvin's board state looked a little bit precarious or not. There's just 2 cards, if you include the leader, has been able to swing that right back into his favour. James fully and firmly into rebuild mode here. It's going to start off with a search from brand new. Don't forget as well, if you want to catch up on and watch all the rest of the action from today's tournament, it'll be linked in a playlist in the description and through the channel as well. I would encourage you to drop a like on the coverage and subscribe to the channel as well for more coverage of the events that we host here at Fanboy 3, multiple different card games. So the Hina was taken from brand new. We're going to use the Sakazuki effect to drop a Tashigi and draw what looks like, I think, the blue 10 cost Kaido in there. I think that's the special rare from OP-05, if my eyes are not deceiving me. 8 Don left available for James. Not too sure what else is in the hand at the moment, because I'm not sure if the Tashigi was the best thing to withdraw there. with it being that 2k counter. Plays down a Sabo as a blocker and is going to be allowed to draw 2 and trash 2. Also means that all of his characters can't be KO'd by effects until the start of his next turn. So we're going to see brand new. And what else is the second card that's going to be dropped? It is going to be the Kaido that we found earlier on from Sakazuki's leader ability. We just saw there the extra cards that were left in the hand as well. It looks like it was the brand new blue Borsalino, a Hina, and I think it was a Lucci from the new set that was in there as well. Just going to slide the remaining Don underneath the leader and swing, and that will be allowed through by Calvin. 2-1 the scoreline in round 1. 2 attacks at the moment will be able to come through from Calvin's side. Here comes just a 5 swing into life, and that'll be 1k countered away by blocker Borsalino. Still leaves the Sabo up and able to block any swings from that 9-drop Kaido. 6 Don available as well. I think I see there's a blocker Trafalgar Law that is in Calvin's hand. It might have been what he was eyeing up. Just going to swing first though, and that will indeed be blocked by the Sabo. Potentially thinking of tapping 5 there as the next action for turn. It's a really interesting little back and forth between these two brand new strategies in this format. And Calvin's just going to elect to protect himself with the blocker Captain Kidd and pass the turn over to James. All 10 Don back up and available. Just 3 cards though left in hand. There's plenty of resources available for Calvin in hand to potentially counter from, so I don't think I can see a way that James is going to be able to win the game this turn.
So I swing a leader with Sakazuki, and then
so first we're going to swing just 5k into leader. That's going to draw out the blocker. Kaido is now 8 cost.
So Kaido is now
Now
cost with the on-play.
Hina will be reducing it to a 4.
The rest of the 10.
And then the Borsalino will come down as well and send that big Kaido to the bottom of the deck. James has been able to do that really well throughout this game so far. Has been able to use those cost reduction abilities and then the blue element of the Sakazuki deck to just bounce everything back to the bottom. Has been able to keep a lot of the tempo so far, as Calvin has to respond once again. A 6k swing, counted away for 2. And now here is a Paulie,
so it's just kills
which is going to, on play, pay an extra 2 Don, pop the Hina, and accelerate up 1 extra Don available, which could come in handy if Calvin plays any kind of events. He's just going to elect to pass with the 1 Don left up and available. Just the 1 card in hand as well that James has drawn for his turn, so it's not like he's going to really be able to cycle it through with leader Sakazuki.
Swing at leader with Borsalino at 8k.
He's going to swing 8 with leader with the Borsalino first, and that will be counted out. Looked like there was 2k counters used there. I think the last card in hand is the blocker Borsalino, and that's certainly what James is going to have to put down this turn to give him any sort of safety net defensively. He's now going to slide. That's 3k, I think, underneath the brand new. That makes it 6, counted away. So at the moment, Calvin's got the options and got the answers defensively. 8k now onto the Sakazuki leader. And I think you don't mind taking this one here. Calvin will do so. And then pay 4 and play Borsalino. That will be the end of James's turn. And now Calvin, up to 10 Don, has to have 3 attacks go through in order to take this game out. 5k into life from leader. That will be blocked by Borsalino, which won't go away because of the on your opponent's turn effect. Boots Borsalino up to a 6k blocker. Does potentially offer up a little target for Calvin to attack into this turn, but I think that that's probably the wrong time to start controlling board tempo here. I think, despite James having no cards in hand, I think you've got to go for it in this situation. 10 Don available. I'm not sure if there's a second 9-cost Kaido left in hand. That would really be icing on the cake and really help secure this if there is. The Paulie will be allowed through. And it looks like he does have it. Does Calvin. Turns the 9 Don sideways. We'll send Don back to his Don deck. We'll pop the brand new. Uses the blocker kit ability to replenish one of those Don as well. Very, very nicely done. That's so clever. That's so clever from Calvin. The extra Don that was kept uprested from the blocker ability to slide underneath it, make sure that attack went through. And then it's very seldom you're going to stop 10,000 power with so few resources in hand. Calvin takes round 1 in this OP-05 winner box tournament hosted by Fanboy3. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next one.